Hello again everyone, and welcome to the final episode of the 2020 Farmers Weekly Awards. I'm Carl Schneider, the editor of Farmers Weekly, and we've been presenting to you from the Cotswold Farm Park in Gloucestershire, home to my co-host Adam Henson. We've got a big evening in store, but before we go any further, let's take a look at what happened on last night's episode.
Last night's episode was jam-packed with entertainment from the singing farmer John Hughes and the announcement of mixed pig, poultry and sheep farmer award winners. Tonight we reach the climax of the show as we work our way towards announcing the 2020 Farmer of the Year. Before we get to that though, we award the Young Farmer, Farm Innovator and Environmental Champion of the Year. We'll celebrate innovation and see how British farmers have been bringing their creations to life in an attempt to constantly improve farming practices. But without further ado, let's announce our first winner of the night.
Hi, it's Jimmy Doherty here, and I just want to say a well done and congratulations to all you winners.
Good luck to all the nominees in this year's Farmers Weekly Awards.
Wish all of the finalists in the Farmers Weekly Farming Awards the very best of luck, and congratulations to the successful winners.
I would like to congratulate all the Farmers Weekly Award winners through such a difficult year.
Wishing you all the very best of luck to all the runners and riders at the Farmers Weekly Awards. Sorry we can't all be together at the Grosvenor House, but fingers crossed, one day soon we will be, but best of luck to you all.
The first award this evening is to honour the Young Farmer of the Year for people who are under the age of 30, and this award is sponsored by Azets. Let's see who the contenders are for Young Farmer of the Year. From Homestead Farm, Croxton in Staffordshire, Sam Hall. Sam is 25 years old and started his own free-range egg business when he was still at school and has built it up to a fully fledged popular enterprise. Alongside this, he works full-time on his family's mixed farm and manages the dairy herd. From Manor Farm, Bungalow Catterstock in Dorset, Bertie Newman. Also 25, Bertie manages a 1,500-acre organic farm with a Sackler beef herd and North Country Cheviot ewes. As a partner, he has taken the initiative to add contracting and dairy origin beef enterprises to the farming business. From Hedgehog Cottage, Larling in Norfolk, 27-year-old Adam Walton is a pig farmer, and he took on the sole management of his family farm after his father sadly passed away in 2018. He has 1,200 sows and is keen on biosecurity, animal welfare and new technology. But which of these is about to become the 2020 Young Farmer of the Year? Andy Ritchie of Azets will now tell us who has won.
On behalf of all the rural team at Azets, we're delighted to sponsor the Young Farmer of the Year Award. Congratulations to all the finalists, and I can announce that this year's winner is Bertie Newman.
Bertie is an impressive young talent who understands the importance of making his business as robust as it can be and working to improve animal health as well as the environment. He is engaged with both the farming and the local community and has ambitions to keep on improving. Thanks to Azets for sponsoring this award, and well done, Bertie Newman.
The next award is the Farm Innovator of the Year. The shortlist for this was chosen from all the other categories and is sponsored by Co-op. Let's take a look at the shortlist. From Salkland Farm, Midlothian, Peter Eccles. Peter is an early adopter of new methods such as a targeted approach to lambworming. He's recruited several research partners to help him instigate a mothering trial for large outdoor lambing flocks, and he finds interesting new ways to collaborate for mutual benefit. From Whitley Wood in Reading, Berkshire, Rosa Linkins. Having no family links to farming enables agricultural student Rosa to question accepted norms and bring fresh thinking to agricultural challenges. Her sustainable insect protein diversification is an inspired business idea that quite literally has legs. Brewood Farm in West Midlands, Tim Parton. Tim is a regenerative agricultural pioneer who is looking to harness biology within his cropping system. To achieve this, he modified his drill to enable him to place microbes next to the seed, something that existing drills could not do. But which of these is about to become Farm Innovator of the Year? We hand over to the Co-op to tell us.
We're delighted to be sponsoring the Farm Innovator of the Year award. Innovation is going to be so important for UK agriculture, and I am thrilled to announce that this year's winner of Farm Innovator goes to Tim Parton. Congratulations, Tim.
Tim showed huge innovation by modifying a John Deere 750A direct drill with an engineer. The heavily adapted drill is enabling him to slash fertiliser inputs, and he is now applying 40 kilograms per hectare less nitrogen than previously. It is also enabling him to make good use of companion cropping and undersowing OSR with clover. Thanks to Co-op for sponsoring the award, and a big congratulations to Tim Parton.
Speaking of innovation, every year Farmers Weekly run a Farm Inventions competition. Here's a look at some of the incredible inventions in contention for this year's competition. Stay tuned, because straight after that we'll reveal the final letters in our entertaining A to Z of farming segment.
Every season, Farmers Weekly runs its Farm Inventions competition. Anyone who has designed a machine, gadget, or knick-knack of their own has an opportunity to submit their invention and win a slice of the total prize pot of £2,550. With cash prizes ranging from £100 to £500 up for grabs, and the results decided by a panel made up of journalists and farmers, it is an ever-popular competition. Last year, GJ Agri's self-propelled stone picker won the complex category. The impressive and quirky converted combine was designed to harvest an unusual crop, flint, from fields north of Lyme Regis. Here are just a few of the inventions in contention for the 2021 Farm Invention competition. Jack Kooreman, who is 14 and from Cambridgeshire, came up with a simple steel frame that holds a large toolbox that was previously mounted on a DeWolf harvester and allows it to be put on the front linkage of a tractor for carrying bulky items. With all of the design, welding, painting and wiring carried out by Jack, it shows that ingenuity can come at any age. Tom Wyatt has made a pickup hitch that fits onto the back of a JCB 3CX. It allows the JCB to tow a trailer while being able to use the back arm and a high ab. It uses the hydraulic system of one of the back legs to go up and down. It is used mainly when the tractor is busy with an implement or sprayer, drill or fertiliser spinner. And finally, last winter James Davies made a fertiliser bar using an old beat drill frame. This was to place fertiliser at the base of the plant when it is 2 to 3 foot high, making better use of the nitrogen, allowing for precision and so minimising the potential scorching effects on the plant. It's now time to reveal the final 5 letters of our A to Z of Farming 2020. V is for Vegan Challenge. Farmers set the record straight on claims in George Monbiot's Apocalypse Cow. Complaints are upheld over Liz Bonin's Meat, a Threat to Our Planet programme. And Ofcom is inundated by objections to How to Steal Pigs on Channel 4. W is for Wilfred Emmanuel Jones. The Devon farmer gets an MBE from the Queen for services to British agriculture. Also honoured is Hampshire farmer Peter Barfoot, who gets a CBE for services to sustainable agriculture. X is for X Factor. In a year that tests everyone's stamina, James Arney from Somerset and Emma Ashley from Hertfordshire help inspire others to open up about mental health as they scoop the title of Britain's Fittest Farmers. Y is for Young Farmers. The next generation challenge norms and inspire change as they make their mark in the industry. Z is for Zero. Net zero. Farmers show they are part of the climate change solution, backing agriculture's bid to become carbon neutral within the next 20 years and provide a more sustainable future for all. That wraps up our look back at some of the stories that emerged from a challenging year for British farming.
Only 2 awards to go, and next up is the Environmental Champion of the Year. And the shortlist for this award was selected from all the other categories, and the winner will be the person who made the most positive impact on the wider environment. From Brewood Farm in West Midlands, our first nominee is Tim Parton. Tim has always been interested in working with nature, and his focus on improving soil health and using beneficials has led to an increase in key bird species, with new ones being seen, including breeding barn owls and kestrels. Tim has introduced wildlife margins to promote beneficial insects, and he hasn't used insecticides for the past 5 years. Next, from Ballingham Court, Herefordshire, we have Esther and Henry Rudge. The couple aim to promote regenerative farming techniques, and they've reduced their reliance on chemical pesticides and created natural habitats by planting 4 hectares of woodland and 1,700 metres of hedgerows to help deliver more resilient agriculture. And from Enford Farm in Wiltshire, we have James Wyatt. Beef Farmer finalist, James raises his organic herd on the rare chalk grassland of the Wiltshire Plains. He's an enthusiastic advocate for how his cattle are helping to manage and improve the habitat on which they graze to benefit a variety of rare plants and birds, including 40 of the UK's 200 breeding pairs of stone curlews. Stiff competition, but only one can win. We hand over to the Woodland Trust to tell us who has won.
The Woodland Trust recognise the crucial role that farmers play in shaping the environment of their countryside, and that's why we're really delighted to be sponsoring the Environmental Champion of the Year award. The purpose of the award is to really celebrate excellence in environmental management by farmers that both conserves and enhances the environment. All of this year's contenders that have been shortlisted were really strong, but we were particularly impressed with Esther and Henry Rudge. They've demonstrated real sensitivity to their local landscape in the Wye Valley, real long-term commitment in their woodland and hedgerow management, and they've undertaken a wide range of other environmental initiatives. So we feel that Ballingham Court Farm is a really strong and worthy winner. So congratulations, Henry and Esther.
Protecting and enhancing the environment is core to the Rudge's farm management, as they actively look for environmental and financial innovations to benefit their farm ecosystem. The pair show real commitment to their natural surroundings, making them worthy winners. Thank you to Woodland Trust for sponsoring this award, and congratulations, Esther and Henry Rudge.
Before we move on to our top award and reveal the winner of the Farmer of the Year, let's take a look back at all of our 2020 winners and remind ourselves who's in contention for the award. Here's a brief reminder of all those they considered for this top award.
That brings us to our final award of the show. Only one of these winners can be our 2020 Farmer of the Year. This award is sponsored by our headline sponsor, Agrovista, and our winner has been selected from all of the category winners by a completely independent panel of judges. Without further ado, let's hand over to John Tanner of Agrovista to announce our winner.
Hi, I'm John Tanner, Commercial Director at Agrovista. From all of us at Agrovista, huge congratulations to this year's award winners and nominees. Whilst in many ways a year to forget, 2020 has also brought out the best in British farming, and we're delighted to celebrate that with you. The whole team at Agrovista is incredibly proud to back British farmers and growers across the country, and we're delighted to sponsor this year's Farmer of the Year Awards. It gives me great pleasure to announce that the winner is Peter Eccles.
So our vision at Sauckland is to build a resilient, profitable and sustainable business that offers opportunity for everyone. We have a great team here at Sauckland. We're always pushing the boundaries and looking at new ways of doing things, integrating technology and innovation where we can.
I think Peter is most passionate about producing quality. Peter is always looking for innovation, new ideas and ways to improve the productivity of the farm.
I think his mindset is very much forward thinking, and he looks to engage with new technology, looks to move the business forward. He's very aware of climate change and some of the challenges that we're currently facing.
Peter is a farmer, he's passionate, he cares about the animals, and he's really looking to improve agriculture as a whole.
What I love most about farming has to be the variation. No 2 days are the same, working with other like-minded people. I really enjoy farming here with having my family as part of the team. It's a great environment for the kids growing up. They're learning about where their food comes from. They're learning about how to look after animals and how to take care for the environment.
He puts all his energy into the farm and he loves it. He wouldn't do anything else.
A true all-rounder and an innovator, Peter pushes beyond the boundaries of common practice, readily adopting new technology and operating with multiple collaborations. He keeps a constant focus on measuring and enhancing productivity, proudly promotes farming to the public as a career, and cares deeply about the development and motivation of his team. A big thank you to our headline sponsor, Agrovista, and congratulations to Peter Eccles on this amazing achievement.
Congratulations to all of this year's finalists and to all of the winners. And of course, huge thanks to each of the sponsors for their support. It's been a real privilege to be your hosts, and I wish you all continued success for the future.
Thank you and good night.
I just want to say a massive thank you to all our farmers for everything that you have done in 2020, feeding the nation.
Thank you for feeding the nation.
Thank you to all our farmers and growers for feeding the nation.
Thank you, farmers.
Thank you, farmers.
Thank you, farmers and growers.
Thank you, farmers, for feeding the nation.
Thank you very much to all Britain's farmers for your hard work and dedication.
Thank you to all those in the farming industry who've worked so hard this year.
Thank you to all of our farmers and growers from everyone at Harper Adams University.
Thank you, farmers.
Thank you, farmers.
Thank you, farmers.
Thank you, British farmers.
Thank you to our farmers.
We should all be grateful to farmers for feeding us through a very difficult period in our nation.
Thank you to our farmers.
Thank you, farmers.
Thank you to our farmers.
Thank you so much to all the farmers.
Thank you, farmers.
Thank you, farmers.
A huge thank you to all the farmers and producers for growing our food, caring for our environment and doing such a great job.
Thank you, farmers.
Thank you, UK farmers.
Thank you to our British farmers.
Thank you, farmers, from everyone at the Co-op.
A huge thank you to all British contractors and farmers.
I would like to thank farmers and growers for all the work they put in this year, delivering great food in very difficult circumstances.
To all our farmers and growers, I want to say a huge
thank you.
Thank you, farmers.
Thank you, farmers.
Thank you, farmers.
Massive thank you to all the farmers in the UK for their amazing support and hard work throughout the last year.
Thank you to all the farmers for all the hard work you've done this year despite everything. Thank you.
From me and the pigs, just want to say to all you fellow farmers, well done.
Thank you, British farmers, for producing the best food in the world day in, day out.
I want to say a massive thank you to all the farmers for all the produce this year. Done a cracking job.
Thank you, farmers.
Thank you to all of Britain's farmers for all your hard work. You truly are some of the best food producers in the world.
We're getting there, we're getting there. 1, 2, 3, go. Warm my fingers up.
Instigate and... no, that doesn't make sense, does it? And the Farm Innovators in sorry. And has built it up to... we've done this one, haven't we?
I went into my own speech. Sorry. Let's go again.
Did I get that right, that agriculture's thing? Sorry. God, bloody hell. From so how do you say it again? I should put it in phonetics for me.